I'll not get involved with TED again. I thought I'd give them another chance. I thought they'd learned from the previous experience, but now I see that they haven't learned at all, and that there's no point whatsoever in using their platform.
Yeah, I think they're very sensitive about consciousness, psychedelics. You probably are at one of the very few talks that's even up there.
Oddly enough, they have covered psychedelics
Really?
in talks before. I don't think that's the problem. I think they're willing to talk about psychedelics, particularly in view of the fact there's such a lot of good scientific research going on psychedelics now.
Yeah.
They're willing to talk about that, but the question is, how do you position that talk? If you were to suggest, as I do, that in altered states of consciousness we may access valuable and useful information, which may be of fundamental importance to humanity, that's a step too far for an organization.
And then they
like
call
TED.
it pseudoscience or something, and then they kind of redact some of those accusations. Yeah. I had Lawrence Krauss in here, and he did the movie with Richard Dawkins, The Unbelievers. And I think both of them have this theory that, you know, the consciousness, there really isn't anything more to it from a scientific viewpoint. And
they need to go take some DMT.
What happens when you challenge people to that? Someone challenged Richard Dawkins to that.
I challenged Richard Dawkins when he came to speak in my hometown, which is Bath, and he spoke in the public library. So I thought I'd go along, and he was promoting a book called The Magic of Reality. So I wanted to question him about his views on reality. And my question to him, which I recorded and put on YouTube, and his answer, was that there are cultures who believe that reality is much more complicated than just matter, and that they believe that drinking a visionary substance like ayahuasca can give them access to those realms. Have you ever, as a scientist, tested your own prejudices by working with one of these substances and seeing what the effect that the experiences have on your thinking? And he was interesting. He said, yeah, under the right circumstances, with, you know, correct medical support, as long as I could be sure I was safe, I would do it. So I await the day when Richard Dawkins has his first massive DMT trip and possibly thinks again about a few things.
Right.